Okay, this is take 3 of trying to do what I meant to say Wednesday. And look, we're going to get right down to it. I'm so sick of hearing this religion did this, and this religion did that, and this religion did this, and this is why I don't believe, and this is what I don't believe in. When you take the verses out of context, okay, if you're, I admit I've seen people do it all the time. I don't like to do that because I know there's more before and after. Um, but to hold an entire group of people guilty of the sins of one is kind of ridiculous. You can't blame your disbelief on the actions of one. If you disbelieve, that's your choice, and I have no grudges for you disbelieving. But don't try to get me to stop believing because of something that is in my Bible that I've read 1,000 times and could probably read 1,000 more and still know that how you're using it is wrong. Don't do the very thing that you're accusing others of doing. You know, and that's the biggest argument I hear about, well, y'all just pick and choose verses, pick and choose verses. You know what? There was religion from the start of man, from the dawn of time, there was religion. People sought something higher. It wasn't just God, it was Baal and the prophets of Baal and, Balaam. It doesn't matter what you call them, they were gods. And God said he was the only God, and that's okay. That's okay. If you don't believe God is the only God, that's great. I love you from right where you're at. It's not my choice to change your mind. It's not my right. It's not my ability to judge you and tell you you're going to hell or any of that other stuff, and you will never hear me say that. Because that is not what my religion, which I hate using that word because religion is not about God. It's not about God. It's about man taking somebody else's, God's thoughts and turning them into his and putting rules and regulations on how you worship, how you praise, how you eat, how you talk, how you walk. That's not what God wanted. That's not why he came. Okay, guys, if you were God and the world had really screwed up, because trust me, we're screwing it up. But let's say back when Jesus' time, and you have just about had all you can take from all your chosen people and their snobbery and I'm better than Bowery. Are you going to come in as a baby? Or are you going to come down, kick some butt, and take some names? See, that's the flesh talking right there. Because, see, that's what I do, too. I'd be like 1,000 big archangels coming up behind me. Mark Lowry said this best. There'd be archangels and chariots and fire. You'd know I was here. I'm coming to wipe everything out. Because that's what a flesh mind would do. But that's not who God is. It's just not. And yes, God can be angry. And, Oprah Winfrey said, God's jealous of me? No, baby, there's a difference. God's jealous for you. For you. There's a big difference between for and of. Somebody that's jealous of you wants what you have. He's God. What does he need that you have? He gave you everything you have anyway. Please, baby, you ain't that big. You ain't all that in a bag of chips. He's jealous of you. You're his. He called you his before you ever took your first breath. And he got that we didn't get it. He got that we didn't understand that compassion. He got that this little flesh could not handle all of the humongous power and awesomeness that is God. And religion has this way of putting him in a little bitty box and putting you in a little bitty box and telling you where you can go and who you can talk to. And that's not what he wanted either. He came not to make a new religion. He came to break down the walls of the temple, to break down the sheet between the Holy of Holies and us. And he did what he said he would do. He laid his life down. Nobody killed him. He laid his life down. He could have carried himself away. He could have escaped. He could have done anything. But the joy that was set before him led him to the cross. And I'm going to tell you something. I can look back on my past and I can tell you I have done some things that sure don't make me joyful. And if they don't make me joyful, I know they sure did not please him. But if I sat here and said, well, so-and-so did this to me and so-and-so did that to me, so I'm just going to disbelieve everything of a whole thought process. It's not even about a religion. It's about a person. It's about a behavior. He set down 10 basic laws. 10. The rest of them were man altered, man decided, and man goes, this sounds like a thing to do. You know, just like the law of adultery. If you think your wife's cheated, bring her into the temple and feed her the stuff, and if she gets sick to the stomach, then she's guilty. Doesn't say anything about if the man cheats. Adultery's adultery. You're looking at a male-oriented society. And long before men tried to do it, God already knew they were going to do it and started picking women out one by one. Esther, Deborah, Ruth and Naomi, Rahab. So don't tell me God is a patriarchal God, blah, blah, blah. Don't hand me that crap, because he's not. He's an equal opportunity. You are mine. He called me a princess. He told me I was his beloved. He laid down his life and called me his and opened up a family tree beyond any I could ever open for myself. I had to get past the bonds of religion. I had to get past the rules and doctrines that religion presents. And I had to make a decision that I had to get to the point where it was just me and just God. And I don't always get it right. I just don't. Because I'm human and I fall. But it doesn't matter, because I get back up. And I say I'm sorry, and I try again. And so while you're pointing your finger at all the religions that have done to you, think about what all the religions did to one. And yet he still laid his life down. And he didn't have to. So if he's willing to do that for me, then I was willing to push past religion and seek the relationship. And it was the best decision I ever made. Because when I got there, it changed me. It showed me that love is not a price tag. And it's not something that can be explained. It is eternity. And it is overpowering and engulfing and ever merciful. And I'm not quite there yet. But it's okay, because he loves me anyway. He loves me at my dirtiest. And he loves me at my moments of clean. And I'll never get it all right. That's the whole point, is I gotta keep trying. I will never judge you for where you stand on the religious fence, but I would appreciate it if you didn't try to use the same tactics you complain of some of my brothers and sisters doing to you to battle me, because it's not a battle you're going to win easy. I've gone past the religion and into the relationship. And there's a world of difference. Just trust me when I say that. And I love y'all, and thanks for listening. Good night, guys.